Hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, the title says it all. We're going to be installing Windows 95 on PCem. Now, we're going to do this, and I'm going to show you the process to get it running on PCem. It's a little complicated, because there's a couple tricks you got to do to get it running. Not like you just start it up, and then you put a little file in there and it runs. No. It's a couple more steps than that. This is where you have to understand old school PC gaming a little bit. Old school PCs in general. But we're going to get Windows 95 installed, a new graphics card installed into it, and we're going to get some games running. Okay? How many we're going to get running? I don't know. I got like a bunch. I got a list. We're going to try out. We're going to see which ones run, which ones don't run. We're going to get some DOS games running, which I recommend Windows 95 over DOSBox sometimes. DOSBox runs great, but you got to put them in the command prompts, and you have to go in there, you got to type the file name, you got to mount the file, you got to mount the ISO, you got to make sure it runs properly. It's like, unless you understand all that shit, DOSBox ain't worth it. If you know how to use all that stuff, you understand all the prompts, go for it. But if you don't, you're better off just trying to get Windows 95 installed on something. Let's close that out. So first and foremost, you're going to need PCem, which just type in PCem and you can find it easily. You go to the website, you just download the latest version of it. Version 17, that's the one I got, at least as far as I know. And there's a lot of support up to Windows 98. So you can get Windows 98 if you want to use that instead. I'm using 95, that's the one I'm more familiar with. And then you got to get a Windows 95 ISO file. Go to archive.org, just find it there. There's a lot of Windows 95 ISOs, so you need an ISO file specifically. You could use the floppy version if you want to do that. All 14 discs of it. And that's the smaller version. So if you want to sit there and, keep clicking for each disc, because this is going to run fast. That's up to you. If you want to do that, I recommend the ISO version because it's one file and that's it. You're good to go. So let's get PCem loaded up here. Now I already got one installed, but we're going to uninstall that. We're going to delete that, and I'm going to go to the file here, make sure it's gone. See Win95 right down here? Yeah, we're going to delete that. So goodbye to that. And we're going to create a new one. Windows 95. And, oh yeah, let me empty that out so I got rid of those files. There we go. So now we got to go ahead and we got to set up our motherboard. And we're going to be using a Pentium for this. So we're going to go with probably this one. We're going to go with socket 7 for that. Intel, we're going to go with Pentium 200. That's the processor I used. It's 200 megahertz. Might sound like a lot until you actually use it. It's fast. Like I had a Sony Vaio with this processor in it. And I'm not even kidding on this. Everything ran on it. I mean everything. I threw everything I could at that thing. And everything ran on the thing for like at least a couple of years. Like at least up until 99. Where finally I started having problems with some games, so they required a 3D accelerator that was way more than what I had at the time. So we're doing that. 128 megabytes of RAM. That's insane for what we're doing. Like I had, I think, maybe 32 megabytes. So we're doing like, say about 4 times that. So we got that. Now for the graphics card, we're going to go with the Voodoo 3 3000. We're going with that. Do I need to do Voodoo graphics? We'll leave that alone. Speed, we don't need to worry about that. Render threads, yes. Recompiler, perfect. Sound Blaster, I want to go with... We'll go with Sound Blaster 16. That was the one I know I had the most... support with. But we got to make our hard drive also. We're not going to do any networking. You do not want to take the Windows 95 online at all. If you want to do that, There's a way to do it with your own private server. Might do it through the same PC, but I recommend you do it on a separate PC on a straight line to that PC. That's the only way you could do online with Windows 95 safely, because as soon as you take this shit online, you get a virus like that and you're screwed. So just do yourself a favor and don't do it. So we're going to have our CD drive. We're going to have all that stuff in there. Floppy drives, 2 of them. Perfect. No problem. We got to create our hard drive. So we're going to call this Win95. Now size, you're going to need a good, decent enough size. Now you can't go too big. Windows 95 can only handle so much. I believe it handles up to 10 gigs, and that's it. So we're going to do that. So we're going to do 10,000. That's 10 gigs. Let's go and create that. And this is cool, by the way, because if you want to run some old school Windows, you get Windows 3.1 here. You get Windows 1.0 in here. You just got to know the right motherboard and processor to use it. Because certain versions of Windows will only work with certain processors. You got to remember that. It's not like nowadays where you get Windows 11 and you can run that on almost anything. You know. One thing I'm hoping to do, though, I'm hoping to like build like a classic PC setup one day. Not now, because I got no room for it, but like one day when I get a bigger place, I want to get like a classic Windows 95 setup. You just jump on, and you can browse it, and you can actually play all the classic games on there. You can mess with the video files, all kinds of cool stuff. I want to get the Sony Vaio PCV90 setup. That's the one I want to get. I hope to God the guys who are making this emulator get that board in here, because if they get that, I'll get the ISO. It's no problem, and I'll get that shit installed. That I want to try. I really want to see that. I want to see that running, because it will not install any other emulator for some reason because of the way it's set up. Okay, that's it. We should be good to go. Now, check this out. Now, it's not going to set up because it's going to be doing this. Now, I'm going to reset here real quick. You got to do a little trick to get this to install because it's not going to work right off the bat. So, hit reset. Here we go. You got to get to the BIOS menu here. Now, mouse will not work here. You got to use the keyboard for this. Now, you got to go down to boot sequence, okay? Do I have this set for scale? 2 times. So, now you got to go to boot sequence here. It's over a little bit. It's going to be labeled as, I think, C and A or A and C. C drive and A drive. A drive is the floppy drive. You want the CD-ROM to boot first. So that way when you put the ISO image into the CD-ROM, it'll boot off of that. Because you have to do that right off the bat. Okay, if you don't do that, it's not going to find the disk or the ISO file, and it's not going to install. You're going to be sitting in a boot loop over and over again. You don't want that. You want this to install so that it'll work. So you have to set it for CD-ROM, C and A. And you just do that basically by, oh shit. Use page up and page down. Change the sequence. And you want to set it to this setting. So CD-ROM, C and A. That's it. You set that. You're good to go. Hit save and exit setup. Yes, we're done. Now you see it's fast. It's going to go fast. The processor we got and all that, it's going to go super fast. So we got to load up our image file. Now, if we go to, not here. I already put them in PCem. So I got a 195 file, and I got the graphics drivers right here. So you need the graphics drivers for the graphics card. So we're going to go ahead and select our Windows 95 ISO. There's a lot of Windows 95 ISOs, by the way. Okay, there's a lot of them. And you're going to need a product key for each and every single one of those. And there's a whole list of them you can find online. Some of them you download from archive.org will have the product key in the comments section. Some will come with it in a README file that'll just show what it is so you can put it in. I do have the product key for this one. However, we're going to try a trick. I haven't tried this yet. I want to see if this one trick works. to get it running because you need the product key to run it. Now, the good news is you don't need to be online to do that. Windows XP started doing that shit. Windows 95, you just got to do it to the OS and that's it. But if you don't do it, it won't install. So as long as you got the product key, which you can get anywhere online. But listen, we're going to try a trick to see if we get that running. So first, we're going to accept this. Let me see if that works. We're going to do a hard reset. Sometimes you got to reset the whole thing in order for it to find it. There it goes. Yeah, if it doesn't work, by the way, just hit hard reset, and as long as you have the CD-ROM prompt first, it should find it. So as you did, here's our Windows 95 setup. We're going to enter. Configure unallocated space. Yes. Enable large disk support. Now it's going to install. This might take maybe 15, 20 minutes to do all this. So that's going to format our drive. Well, I apologize if I'm a little stuffed up, by the way. It's been like, allergies have been nuts here the past like week. There's been a bunch of bugs going around. Not just COVID. There's other bugs going around too, confusing it. Because people thought I had COVID last week, and I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm fine. Because all I had was this... all I had was constipation. And once I beat the constipation, now I got allergies. And I tried allergy medicine. I'm going to try it. I'm trying it again. I took some just now before I started streaming. So hopefully that fixes the issue. If that don't work, I'm going to take some NyQuil tonight and wipe the shit out. We'll do it that way. Now, this is going to take a couple minutes for us to do this. This might be fast, but we're dealing with a 10 gigabyte hard drive. That is insane for 1995. Most hard drives back then were like maybe 1 gig. They weren't that big. The hard drive I had in my PC back then, the Sony Vaio, was 2.5 gigs. That was considered big back then. So we're doing 10 gigs. That's like 4 times the size of that, which is plenty. We're not going to need too much of these. These games are not that big of an install. Some of these are just floppy disk games that install that, like SimCity or Wolfenstein 3D, for example. Yeah, most people recommend Windows 98. I tried that, and I know it's better to a certain degree. I'm not going to argue against that. I prefer 95. 95 to me is the quintessential Windows, as far as I'm concerned. Like, that was the one I had the most experience with. That was the one I had the most fun with. That's the one I got everything running. Like, unless it was a game that had a specific processor set for it, because that happened too back in the day. Where some games, they would have a deal with like either Intel or AMD, mostly Intel, or it had to be a certain GPU that game only ran on to get it to run. Like, for instance, like Rush the Rock, for example. I'm just going to Rush. It got released on PC, but only for the Raven graphics card. That barely ran on anything, and it ran like ass. So if you got it running, cool, but... And it was the actual arcade game made for PC, and it was the only way you can get it. You know, you can get it running nowadays. If you just get a wrapper for it, it'll run just fine. But then you realize the game is shit. The sound on it for wasn't done correctly and all that stuff. If you got a PC powerful enough, just get the main version. Just run that, you know, and get a steering wheel and gas pedal. Set that up. You're good to go. You know, it might not look perfect, but it'll run. Or just get the N64 version and play that, which is good enough. Yeah, man, I remember getting that Sony Vaio, that PCV90. I swear to God, that system was, I think it was like a $3,000 computer. I think it was either that or it was a $2,000 computer. It was expensive. And at the time, it was top of the line for like 6 months. And that was the thing too, like computers were advancing so fast back then. If you wanted to get top of the line PC, it wasn't really worth it. It was worth it for like, I'd say about 2 or 3 years, maybe 5 years before it started to really kind of sneak up on you a little bit because they were advancing it fast back then. And like, I'm not kidding. It was awesome, that PC. And I wanted to get it running because it had something in there. It had Windows 95, but it had like this thing called VioSpace, because it had a special chip in it that did video like no problem. You can run MPEG video no problem on that thing. 95 by itself may or may not run with it. I'm going to install a graphics card with this thing, the Voodoo 3, and see if I can get videos running with that. You can get it running at DOSBox, no problem. You just have to put a graphics processor in there, and that's it. Because I did that with DOSBox X. That's what I got that running on. Like when I did the retrospective for this, I had it running on DOSBox X. That's how I got it running, which ran it pretty good. You know, not perfect, but it was really good. You can run Windows 95 in regular DOSBox if you know how to get it running properly. It's a bit complicated to get it running because you could do it with the floppy version. I don't think you can do it with the ISO. And the floppy version, you have to constantly, like, you know, you got to mount all the disks and get them to run properly if you want to do it that way. And getting it running Windows 95 is no problem. Getting anything to run in it is a bitch and a half because it doesn't have CD-ROM support in DOSBox. It just doesn't have it. That's why PCem exists and stuff like this. You can get it running in this. You get it running in VirtualBox, but I don't recommend it because the drivers in there are iffy. Like, it'll be laggy in VirtualBox. I don't know why, but it is. But when you get Windows XP installed in there, that runs perfect. Okay, we're almost done. I'm at it. I get formatted. Also, let me 4x3. There we go. And now we're installing it. It's running ScanDisk. It'll run this whenever you shut down your computer improperly. Okay. It wasn't back in the day where it had a soft shutdown. It only has a hard shutdown. And so you have to shut down the OS first, wait for it to tell you to turn the computer off, then shut down. You still got to do it in this too, by the way. All right, then the Windows 95 setup. Continue. Let's kind of run the wizard. Yes, I agree. Yep. Prepare the directory. We're going to do custom. We're going to install what we want to install. We're not going to do typical. I guess we could do typical. Yeah, we'll do typical. What the hell? All right, now this is where you need the product key. If you don't put this in, it doesn't install. I'm going to try a trick here real quick. Ah, shit, it won't work. All right, I thought it worked. That was a developer key. I thought it would work. It didn't. That's okay. I got the product key all the way down here. I'll just put that off to the side here. I'll put it up here if you want to use this key. It may or may not work on your copy of Windows 95. So, and there's nothing illegal about this. This OS is like dead. So you can use this all you want. There's no tracking for it either. So go ahead if you want to do that. I'm just going to put it up here so I can get it installed. So, E46 line 8 0 3 9 6 8 2 7 2 1 3 5. Let's call this fine. Yeah, we want sound support. No network adapter. Don't bother with that. Like I said, we're not going to take this online. There are ways to do it, but we're not going to do it. Why would you want to go on that Windows 95 anyway? Just go to just boot up any browser and type in old net or the old net, and you can see the old internet there. But here, I'll show you, actually. Hang on. The old net. Yeah, the old net. Here you go. Let's go here. This is the old internet. And you can browse here all you want. The one thing I gotta see if I can find an AOL emulator, just one that's doesn't go online, but just has all the different stuff in there and the app stuff. I want to get one of those and see if I can put some old school America Online. That was like a trip. You look at that shit nowadays, it's like alien compared to what we got now. No joke. Because the internet is so different nowadays from what it was back then. Back then, unless you had the actual setup in your PC, the actual modem in there. Yeah, we'll just install most components. No startup disk. We don't need that. Yeah, I was thinking about the internet back in the day. You had to have a modem. Most PCs, you had to get the modem separately. Once you get installed on there, you had to get it separately. So you had to turn on the modem. Then you had to use your phone line. Yeah, it was a phone line. It was not cable internet like it is nowadays, or Ethernet. No, it was a totally different system. You can get Ethernet back then, but it was fucking expensive. It was in 1995, I think it was $1,000 a month or something like that. It was insane. You're better off just going dial up. Which back then they had really good deals on dial-up internet. If you had it specifically for the internet, they gave you a really good deal. So you could browse all you wanted. That was what was cool about internet back then. Nowadays, you just go to your cable company, or whoever, and get your internet that way. Also, download speeds were really fucking slow. If you wanted to download 3 or 4 megabytes, you were stuck setting up that thing for especially if you had no patience back then, you really had to sit there and watch it download. Most of us didn't have any patience for that back then, unfortunately. That was I think 3 megabytes was an hour to download that. It's nowadays we could just download a full PlayStation game for I don't know, 10, 15 seconds, depending on the server side. That's the thing too. I understand if you want to watch something's download slowly, especially even today, it depends on the server on the other side, how fast that server is. If that server's not very fast, you get the fastest internet in the world. If the server's slow, you're going to get a slow download. That's just the way it is. Same with PC speeds. You can max your system out with all kinds of crazy stuff even today. But if whatever game or program you're running is set to a set limit, it's only going to go up to that limit. That's why I tell people don't insanely overdo your PC because it's not worth it. You're most of that power's gonna be sitting on the table. You're not going to do anything with it. And no, it's not future proofing either because architectures change, and that's the reason why you have to go for what I call the stock normal for your PC upgrades. Because when you get the stock normal, it's fine. You'll be fine for at least 5 years, at least. And then when the next architecture comes around, okay, then you can upgrade to the next architecture and you get that stock normal. You can upgrade a little further than that if you want to do that. Just don't go too far. I see people do that in the 2010s, and those PCs are sitting there just rotting because they went way too far, and then the architecture was outdated, and all of a sudden they can't do shit with it. Come on, copy in. Okay, now we got to remove the disk from the drive. It's going to start this shit again. And we don't want that. So we finish. And this is going to boot. It's going to go to the CD-ROM first every single time. Let's failure Windows 95, and it's going to go. It's the same thing as Windows 11. Just getting it ready to run for the first time. You got to do all this shit. Yeah, this is probably going to find the graphics card. Let's see if it finds it. Oh, okay, so it's configuring all of Windows 95 right now. Yeah, this is MS-DOS built into it too, so you can run DOS games, no problem. You just got to go through the process of installing it. Okay, so I am in Arizona. Printer wizard? No, we're not going to need that. It's going to restart again, so it starts normally. Unknown device. That means it found our graphics card. There we go. We're running. Now, it's not going to run perfectly. For example, like, we can only do so much. We'll go to our settings here. We go to mouse. Turn the sensitivity down. I have a really sensitive mouse. Now we go to display here. We're only in 16 color, and that's all we can do. We can't do much else right now. Change our appearance, our screensaver. It's flying objects. Some of these work okay. You got the pipes, you got the maze, you got all that stuff. The flying windows, that's the most common one. Now, what's cool now is that we can actually put that Windows 95 disk back in here. As long as you don't put it in when you're starting up, still run it okay. And here we can look at things right now. Now, you're going to notice it doesn't look all that great because we're running on a... copy this. Because we're running on a, not a whole lot of power at the moment. Let me see. I want to go. All right, we're going to put this here. It's that. There we go. Close that out. Now, it's not going to run all that great. Let me get the picture in here. And as you can see, oops, it looks like shit. That's as best as you're going to get the look. All right, so now we're going to boot up our graphics drivers. This one, the Voodoo 3000. We're going to use this. I want to get the Voodoo 2, but for some reason it's not available. Now we're going to install our graphics drivers. Now you got to do this manually. There's no internet to download your drivers from exactly. You have to actually put the disk in. You got to install it. You got to make sure it's the right disk because not all disks work. That's one of the nightmares about Windows 95. Everything had to be done manually. So it's not like Windows 11 where you put the thing in and it downloads the driver automatically. No. So it's not like, oh, I'll just put the graphics card in and it'll download the driver automatically. Nope. You gotta do all that shit manually. All right, so DirectX is starting to look good now because we got the drivers installed. And that's it. So we're now good to go. Whoops. Now the cool thing is you can change the resolution and all that stuff. We go to display. Now a lot of stuff's going to work. The screensaver is going to be better. That works great. We got all these options. We got different resolutions. We got the 1024. We're not going to do that. Well, there's the color options. We're going to do high color. I'm fine with that. Go to advanced properties. Everything is on here. Performance is maxed out. That's perfect. Our monitor is good. That's our driver. 3DFX Interactive. We'll do optimal. We're fine with that. Now it's Windows 95. Working great. And we got all kinds of cool stuff in here. Now, we only got so much we can work with. We'll go back to the Windows 95 CD real quick. Now, this should run a lot better. Yeah. See this? Looks a lot different now. These should run the way they're supposed to now. Yeah. Before this would have ran like ass. Now it runs great. Okay, so we got that. If you try to run these without this GPU, they'll run like crap. They won't even look all that great. But now they've got the GPU in there. No problem. So there's that. Hover will work. Hover was a great, free game. Every copy of Windows got it. Skip quick help, yeah. This is not the easiest thing to do because I'm using my Gamma K keyboard, which doesn't have full-blown arrow keys on it. I gotta hit the damn. I gotta hold the function key for it to work. But yeah, hover works great. Good frame rate, everything. We'll exit that. You get that running on modern systems, by the way. You just gotta get the file. So that'll run. You're about the CD, all the cool stuff that's in here. There's a lot of it, by the way. We're not going to go over all of that. We're good enough without it. So, okay. So now we got that installed. So we're good to go. Windows is running. We got all the features in there and everything. Probably don't have all the games, but that's okay. Because now we're going to install the games. Now, I got a bunch here. We're going to try out and see which ones we get running. Here's all the games I got. I got everything. Now, Doom 95 works. And you can play that off the disc. You don't even have to install it. You play a game from CD. And you can pick your difficulty and all that stuff. We'll go to Ultraviolence Hangar. Just standard Doom. We're good enough on that. Configuration. Good to go on that. Here we go. Oh shit, the mouse don't fucking work. Ah, well. It works. But that's okay. You know what? I'm going to try this. I'm going to try installing Ultimate Doom. I tried to get the floppy version, which is 5 discs, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Maybe if I look hard enough, I'm able to find it. But there is an ISO, so this should install. Yep. Oh, C. Yep. This is gonna go fast. Yeah. No, we're gonna do keyboard and mouse, Sound Blaster. Yes. Yeah, we're good on that. Now we're playing Doom. I gotta use the arrow keys for this and the control and all that stuff. I could use the mouse, I guess. But again, you gotta use it to move forward, left to right, and all that. So yeah, Doom now runs, and it's the DOS version. And details on high, screen size, cool, mouse sensitivity, volume, all that stuff's there. So yeah, you can get Doom running, and this is the DOS version. So by just installing it from the CD, boom, we're good to go. It's not even that big of a game. It's like, I don't know, maybe like not even like 5 megs. It's like nothing. So Doom now runs, but you can, to be fair, you get Doom running on almost anything, to be fair. So that's no big deal. Someone messaged me. Who is it? That's my brother. Let's try something else. Let's try... Oh, wait. You know what? I forgot. We can try... Wolfenstein 3D. Let's see if we can get that installed. Yeah, there it is. Install. This is going to go a bit slower because it's a floppy drive. So... Yeah, because floppy disks were like not the fastest, you know. They were only 1.44 megabytes, but you know, you had to wait for some stuff. CD-ROM was definitely faster back then. Nowadays, CD-ROM is slow as shit. Oh, finished. Perfect. Check drive A. So now, 3D. Runs. Let me see. So... Oh, you know what? It probably needs the Sound Blaster files for it to run properly. That's okay. Let me see. Customize controls. Let me see. Never mind. You have to go with the basic controls. It works. Use the piggy speakers if you want. I get the drivers for the sound card. But for the most part, they'll run. Just stuff like this, you know. Oh, never mind. I guess it does run. You just don't get the music. Yeah. That's why I'm using these smaller keyboards. Here's the function key for some stuff. It works. Oh shit, I fuck with the damn function. Yeah, you know what? Something about these modern keyboards sometimes. They always like find ways to mess with you. Right. Yeah, but it does work. It's really fun. Let me reset my keyboard real quick. Okay, so we got that running. Let's try some other stuff. Let's try Quake. Now, some of these files are not ISOs completely. They're like Q files. So you have to do it that way. We're going to install this. This is a little bit bigger of an install. Now this, you need the disc to run sometimes because you get the soundtrack. If you don't have the disc in there, the soundtrack won't work. It was a deal with like Warner Brothers or something like that when they got, because they got Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails to make the music for this. That's why it says INN, NIN on some of the ammo crates in here. I mean, you don't need this now because you just buy Quake on Steam or GOG and you got the remastered version, so you just play that. And there we go. Customize controls. We want. Oops. No. Go. That should do just fine. Oh shit, that's sensitive. Yeah, I got it. Look at that, we got Quake running. Now you can get this running in DOSBox, but it's not going to run as smooth. Because it's regulated by the PC power, so to speak. Oh shit, that is really sensitive. Yeah, that's it. And keep in mind, there was no up and down movement with the mouse thing, by the way. It was still left and right. That's kind of something I wish Microsoft would just do themselves, just like, you know, they make their own, like, classic Windows emulators. Okay, just download this app, boom, you can play your old, you know, PC games if you like. Oh shit, I forgot which button does the, let me see something else. There we go, that's kind of stupid. There we go. Works. All you gotta do is launch it. Perfect. Okay, so we got that empty. Let's try something else. Let's try Mech Warrior 2. Let's see if we can get that running. Yep, 16. That's what we got. Okay, we're good on all that. Oh, escape. Installation. Do full blown. We got 10 gigs of space on here. That's a lot for these older systems. Yeah. That's what's cool about classic gaming. Like, you know, like if you know what you're doing, you get a lot out of it if you know what you're doing. You know, it's not like nowadays you just go on Steam, buy the game, download it, and it works. Supposedly it'll work. That's the one thing about PC gaming that no one talks about. It's not guaranteed to work. That's the downside. Sure, most things will work. It's not a problem, but you know, if you don't have a proper driver or if just a processor isn't accepted or something like that, it won't run. Or it will run, but it'll run like ass. I don't think we'll have that problem with any of these installations, but I know at least one of these might give me some trouble. So we'll see what happens. Nah, we're not going to register. Cool. I could boot this now. No. Turn to DOS. Bingo. Now, if we go to Mech 2.
This is HQ to any available units. We have mechs down at Nav Gamma. Bravo Cadet reports 4 summoners on site. Bandits are hostile. Repeat, bandits are hostile. HQ, this is Alpha Assault.
This is awesome.
Bearing 025.
ETA 34 seconds.
Alpha Assault, this is Bravo Cadet. I've got bandits all over me. Get down here.
What's so funny is 5 years ago, this emulator was shit. It couldn't run anything. It can run some old school PC stuff, but Windows 95 was still a bitch and a half. Thanks to the pandemic, people being stuck at home, they were able to really ramp this thing up.
It's got a lock on me. It's got a lock on me.
Warning. Ammunition level critical. Weapon depleted.
Alpha Assault, this is HQ. What is your situation?
All right.
HQ, what is your situation? Please comply.
That was a screensaver. It does it sometimes. Okay, here we go. So we can pick a side. These games, you have to pick a side. Some of these older ones. So they should give you like 2 or 3 different campaigns of some of these. Like, you don't just get just one. You can pick which side you want to be on. There was no discrimination.
Great among the clans. We are warriors who fight with the strength of the falcon's claw and ascend to the heavens on the wings of the same. We remember with the clarity of falcon's sight the words of Kerensky. Through the smoke of time he speaks to us, his chosen, and urges us onward with the promise of...
I should have downloaded the Turok guy or so.
What is ours?
Run that.
That shining jewel terror. Not the vastness of space, nor the wolf's obstinate howl will stay us from our righteous goal. We are crusaders and will trample all who stand in our way.
Props to developers, man. This is when developers actually had fun doing that stuff. Oh.
Register Simcoe identity.
Ah, shit. Oh, don't tell me I lost the mouse signal. Where did my mouse die? Oh, shit. Don't tell me it did what it did. Oh, there we go. Okay. Close it. Well, I just know the menus worked. Somehow I messed with my mouse right there. That was my fault. The battery might be running low on it. Oh, well, it works. I'm pretty sure the game runs. I just, issues. Okay. Let's try something else. Let's try Mist. Was it Q or was it ISO? Oh. Install. This just installs just the basic software. It just runs the app in the background because it still runs the whole game off the disk. Nah. Got it. Okay. So. Oh yeah, you gotta drop the what? Like I said, not everything was guaranteed to work. So here we got to go back to 256 color mode. Apply. Apply without restarting. We don't need to do that. That's why I always say PC gaming, it's never guaranteed to run. There's a good chance it'll run, but it's not guaranteed to run. You got to remember that when going in. That's why I tell people, going into PC gaming, it's great. Right now, PC gaming is fantastic. Almost everything runs. That's why I say consoles right now, they're just not worth it. But they were before, but they're not worth it now. Would it be worth it again? Sure.
The moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse of which...
And this is the original Mist, by the way. This is not the Masterpiece Edition.
I've tried to speculate where it might have landed. I must admit, however, such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold my Mist book are unsettling to me. I know my apprehensions might never be allayed. And so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
How about that? It works. Let's see if I can beat the game. If you know anything about Mist, you know you can beat the game in like a minute. Oh no, I'm not going there now. Thank you. Oh, shit. Oh, you know what? I forgot the code. I forgot the code. Well, it works. No, I don't save. We don't need to do that. I forgot the code. Well, it works. So that runs. Let's try the Neverhood. Install. Yeah, like I said, like some of these old, even V games, it's a small file. We just needed the app just so they would launch it. That's it. Other than that, they'll run. Okay. And the thing is, they're set up so that it runs off the disk no matter what. It's their own version of copy protection. Also, it was faster than putting it on the hard drive, believe it or not. Yeah, that's cool that you can just get this stuff running. Play some old school games. And play. And Neverhood, it runs. This will run on a modern system, though. You gotta set it to 256 color mode, which you can do in the compatibility settings. So you'll get it running. You just gotta get the disc. Yeah, Crocker, supposed to be more than one game, but they only made one because it didn't sell very well. Alright, new game. Get up. Come on, get up. Like I said, you get this running on a modern system. It's just that you need the ISO and you need to mount the ISO for it to run. But other than that, and it's a good game. It's a long game, but it's a good game. Especially like adventure games. It's okay, he's not dead. Told you. Hey, this is the game where like you need to get a pen and paper down because you got to write shit. Like you have to draw symbols and stuff like that to remember which order they're in. Like it's that complicated. Please feed my pet flytrap. He eats ring food. I do not. Love Willie. Thanks, Willie. It does give you hints, by the way. Not all of them, but it gives you some hints. You may have already won 2 bricks of... let's look at one more. How do you spell? There's a lot of them. Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, neighborhood works. Perfect. Let's try something else. So we go to all files. You can run some other stuff. Let's try SimCity. Can we get SimCity running? Oh, wait. No, it's not going to... Oh, what's wrong one? It's not going to work on that. Here we go. Let's try SimCity. See if we can get that running. Yep, A. Yes. 5C. Yes. Yeah, what the hell? Ignore. Yes. IBM. Yes. Yes. This runs in DOS, I believe. It should run. Complete. Perfect. All right, let me see. Will it run off of... SimCity works. New city. Yeah, do easy. What the hell? We'll do 5 back. What the hell? 1. 500. Oh, it was the copy protection shit. It works. You need the copy protection shit, but it works. It works. We'll leave it at that. We're good. We are totally good. Let's eject that because I don't want it back in there again. Okay. Let's try some other stuff. Let's try stuff that's harder to get running. So let's try Need for Speed. DirectX 2, yes. Just to make sure. 'Cause some of these run on specific installations, so you got to make sure you install everything. Oh, don't tell me give me the black screen of death. I had to reset. That's what I mean. Some games will or will not run. Yeah. And we got to do this shit. That's what I mean. That's why I would say PC gaming, It may or may not run. I make it easier nowadays for shit to run, but make sure you check the requirements. You can have a beast of a system, but if it's the right file, it won't run. I think Need for Speed SC will run in DOS mode, I think. Graphics already installed. He's going to do this again. I probably have to install it in DOS. This is probably the only way to get it running. Yeah. I'll reset. Yeah, that was a problem with PCem. Like some games, like Need for Speed SC, just won't install through Windows for some reason on this one. It will install through DOS. I know we'll do that, so we'll probably do it that way. Which is not a big deal. Alright, so NFSSC, okay. So what you can do, you can bring up the command prompt like this. D drive. Believe it's install. Hang on a second. Explore. Install D. That's what we got to do. Install D. There we go. Yeah. Oh yeah, the mouse only fucking 16. That's what we're going for. Like I said, it may or may not work. Yep. Well, now you know. I'm sure one day they'll get that working. Okay, so Need for Speed 1 does not work. Let's try Need for Speed 2. Yeah, I was expecting Need for Speed 1 not to work. I was hoping it would work, but, you know, again, that's PC gaming in a nutshell. I'll do the maximum. That's why I don't get pissed off too much like when stuff goes wrong. I'm just like, all right, it didn't work. I know a couple years back I would get pissed off on stream, but the reason why is because the pandemic was going on and other shit going on in my life. That's why I've learned, like, if I'm going through a bad time, which I've been going through a lot this year, I just don't stream. I just say, fuck it, I'm not doing it. I'll wait. You know. Which I don't like, because I really like streaming. I just, you know, I hate the fact that you keep putting it off. Like, I'm pissed I didn't get to do Block Push of Summer. I didn't get to do that this year again. I'm also pissed I didn't get to do Halloween Fest. I didn't get to do that at all. You know. And it sucks when you can't do it. Like, you want to do it, but you can't. You know what I mean? Yeah, Need for Speed 2 I know runs. And Need for Speed 2 SC, like, this is probably the proper way to play it too. There are modded versions. I know I got a modded version that runs on modern hardware, but like the aspect ratio and the menus get all fucked up. Especially when streaming. Whereas here I can just install it and run it. And I can run it in 3D effects, so it looks best. You probably got Unreal Tournament running also, but I can also get that running on water windows, so why bother? Selection complete, thank you. Yes, we'll add the shortcut. Did it install? Let me see. Electronic Arts. It's 3D version? I know look at the 3D effects. Maybe I didn't recognize it. Awesome intro. That's just too damn cool. They don't do shit like that no more, man. They don't have fun. Yeah, somehow the 3D effects. Maybe it'll work okay. Let's go to location. It was working last time I was doing it. See how it runs. The menu is always kind of iffy. Let's see how the game runs. It should run okay. It's running fine to me. Oh, you know what it is? I saw 250's color mode. Hang on. Oh, yeah. Man, let me see if I can install it again. Reinstall. Let's see if it finds it. That's why it didn't install. Probably because I had the wrong color mode on. But usually it finds the graphics drivers. Next. Max. Because usually it finds a 3D FX version right off the bat. Let me see. Well, 3D effects, I mean, that, like, nowadays it's all NVIDIA and AMD, especially NVIDIA. Like back then it was 3DFX. That was the GPU. Like they were in arcade cabinets, they were in like special effects studios, they were in everything 3DFX. The reason why they went downhill is because they tried to experiment with something in the 2000s, then NVIDIA kicked their ass, and say with ATI. AMD didn't really have a GPU back then, it was ATI. That was the company that had the GPU market. Then AMD bought ATI, and now they have the Radeon series. Although back then ATI had the Rage chips, which I still don't think is in here. The Rage chips were pretty good. You can get a lot out of those. It was only when games started requiring a GPU, you had to get a GPU. That was in the 2000s, late 90s at least. Like Jurassic Park Trespasser. I mean, you could try that game if you want. I mean, G-Man did a pretty good review of the game. He says it's bad, but it's still kind of fun. It made you wonder what the hell happened on that game. That's one thing about movie license games. Like studios still I think they're starting to learn now. You can't just pump a game out in 6 months. You really gotta like spend time on it. And especially if you want the graphics to be good, the gameplay to be good, the story to be in there properly. Yeah. Let me see. Explore. Could have swore this had 3DFX support in it. Yeah. PC gaming. See, it should run a little better now. No, never mind. It runs the same. All right. Well, at least it works. So, at least we got that. So, I think my PC game, like, it may or may not work. You know what I mean? So, we got that. Let me try Virtua Fighter. Because even though I can get the DOS version running, the PC version always kind of intrigued me. But I really want to see if it works. Yep. Continue. Yep. Like some games like this will not run on a modern system. It just will not run. You have to get an older Windows system to run games like this. That's just the way it is. Yeah, I know I got it in MAME. I could play it in there, obviously, but I want to see if I get this version running. This version was a pretty good version. Holy shit! How about that? I forgot which button did what. I have no idea which buttons do what.
Fight 1. Ready, go!
Oh, okay, that's how that works. All right. Oh yeah, I can't. It's two-player pause. Where's pause? How do you exit the game?
Ring out! Fight 2. Ready, go! Excellent! Yeah!
Let me see if the AI will kick my ass.
Fight 1. Ready, go! Ready.
There you go. I want to lose. So I can get out of the game. All right, I put it on easy. It's real fucking easy. Yeah, there's no way to exit either. If there is, I don't know how to do it.
Ring out!
Yeah, just lose.
Yeah! Fight 2. Ready, go!
I want to lose. I want to lose.
Ring out!
Some of these older games, like, you can't just exit automatically. You got to do some other stuff. Like, I was hitting escape and it wouldn't work. Let me see. So, how do you... Okay, now I gotta look at the instructions for that. Fighter PC controls. Let me see. How do you exit the game? I got it. Let me see. So F6 does that. There is no option to quit the game save. Alt F4. That's the only. It's the only way to get out of it. Alt F4. That's what I mean. It's not guaranteed to work. What was Win Games? I forgot what this is. I think this was Oh, I know what this is. Exit. Yeah, no, we're good. No, we're not doing that. Okay, I'll try some other harder games. So, Pod. Let's see if Pod will run. Oh, I forgot it's in French. English, yes. Install large. Yep. And this game does have 3DFX support, so it should work. If not, it'll still run without it. This also specifically had MMX support. It'll run without MMX, but if you had an MMX chip in your system, which was expensive back then, it would use that specifically. It's kind of why I don't like hardware requirements for some stuff, because they can still do that. I mean, even with things like Epic Game Store and stuff like that, it only run on Epic Game Store. Why? And just so we're clear, I'm never downloading Epic Game Store ever again, or even Unreal Engine. Epic did a lot to piss me off the past few years. They really did a lot. And they did that on their own. I never asked for any of it. And after this, we got 2 more games we're going to try out, and then that's going to be it. We'll be done after that. Son of a screensaver. After this, I'll disable the screensaver. Oh, man. Yeah, there's always a lot of cool PC games, but like I said, a lot of the popular ones will run on modern hardware, no problem. You just got to, get the right DLL files for it, and that's it. And they'll run. Or you need a glide wrapper or something like that, and that'll run just fine. They found ways to get around that stuff back in even the old Turok, like the original Turok ISO, the original Turok game, it'll run on a modern hardware. You don't need to get the remastered version. Don't need that. We got to restart the computer. Some is require a computer restart. They say it's due to copyright protection for some reason. Some it's due to the video options. So you never know.
It'll be over soon.
Let's see. I don't think it's running on 3DFX, but let's see if we... It's not always guaranteed to work. That's what I always say. Windows was shut down properly. Oh, no shit. What's really funny is I'm getting hungry too, so we'll got some other stuff out. Let me try it again. Let me see if it'll run. Sometimes the drivers get all screwed up. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Nope. Okay, we got out of it. Okay, so it's obvious that doesn't work. Okay, we'll try a few more. Let's try Screamer 2. Let's see if this works. This is a DOS game, but it should run. Mobile installation. Yeah, we'll do both. Full. Yep. Oh, what? Why? I remember this ran on my old PC until I got a Voodoo card, and then it never ran again. I don't know why. We tried everything. It would not fucking run. There's another thing too, like if there's a driver change or something that happens, it can literally brick one game. I'm not even making that up. That's why I say, man, it's not always guaranteed to work. What's sad is that's not the story with consoles too nowadays. Like ever since the Xbox One and PS4, like most games ran, but sometimes you get a game will just crash on startup and then that's it. You can't play the fucking thing. Well, it wasn't always the case. The thing about console gaming, why like they need to like rethink things with console gaming. Like just make games that fucking run. Just don't. You know, they keep trying to make just one game, spend all their money on that, and then try to pour it to everything. It's like, no. I think also the problem is too, they try to make games way too big. Like every game nowadays has to be $100 million, and I'm like, no, it don't. Cut back on shit. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's sad too. It's, you know, that's why I can't support consoles no more. Like it just, it's like I want to support consoles, but they don't give me a reason to do so. Setup, low res 256. Yeah, we're good with all that. Let me see. So we are. Uh, 16, 20. We auto detect. Oh. Cool, it works. Save. Ooh. Let's see if it runs. It's working. I'm happy. I mean, we got no music, but it's working. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I got the GOG version, which will run no problem. But hey, that's a shock. Hey, you know, what a surprise. So that works. All right, one more. Motor Racer. This one, let's see if this one runs. I might need to reinstall the 3DFX drivers again. That might be what the problem is. Actually, let me check real quick. Because it should be. Yeah, it should be on there. Nah, cancel. Oh, let's turn the screensaver off. None. All right, let's try Motor Racer. Typical. Don't need to install that much. I do have the GOG version, but it's got weird resolutions, and there's no windowed mode. Why, I don't know. This might be the other way of playing it. The only other way of playing it is with the PlayStation. That version works fine, but it's not the same as the PC. Like, it looks and runs fine. It looks similar, but, like, you know, the PC version is usually a little bit better. Oh, man. Yeah, we'll install DirectX 3 just to make sure. Oh, never mind. Let's run it.
Enter your name.
Yeah, do
Make your choice.
let's see. Yeah, we're good with that.
Make your choice.
Yeah, sad part is the music's not working.
Play solo.
It isn't. It's fucking in.
Make your choice.
It's in. I put it in. Oh well. This shit fucking works. Alright, we're done with that. We're done for today. So yeah, most games run, not all of them. It's not finding the 3D effects card for some reason. I don't know why it's not doing that. In fact, hang on, I think I might know how to fix that. So we'll shut it down. You gotta shut it down this way, by the way. And then turn it off. Hang on. I'll try one more trick. Let me do graphics 4. That'll be fine. Let's see if that works. Let's try that. Let me see. Hang on. Because I think that may have been what I did wrong. It's probably not that. Maybe that'll fix it. Hang on. Because maybe that was a mistake I made. Maybe. Let's try that. Let's see if we can get that driver to work, because it looks like it wasn't working properly. And then I'll reinstall those games and try them again. Let me see. Can I reinstall DirectX? Let me see. No, I guess it's in there. Okay. So let's go back to... let's see. So let's reinstall. Let's see if this finds it. Because if it finds the 3D effects driver, then it'll run. It'll run great. That may have been what I screwed up on in the first place. And I'll try pod again and see if we get that running. We'll do max. Yeah, okay, now it found it. I knew I did something wrong. I knew it. Okay, so then we're going to sit through this shit again. Have to wait for it to reinstall. Okay, I knew something was up. I knew it. Oh yeah, I also got the Perfect Dark PC port, but it's not great. It runs, but that's it. It's still iffy. And I think it's supposed to be based off the S64 version, but I think it's based off the Xbox version, actually. That's what it looks like. Which I'm going to try and see if I can get that running on the Xbox simulator again. I have it on the Xbox One. I think I have it downloaded. I just got to find time to play it again. I've never beaten Perfect Dark, but I've never beaten it. I got like maybe like 2-3 levels in, and then I'm lost. And I did play the sort of sequel, prequel that came on Xbox 360. Yeah, that was shit too. And it had all the 2000s tropes in it. I mean, every single fucking one. Yep. Okay, there it is. Let's try that. We're seeing the intro. Let's see if it runs. This should have run smooth. Sort of. Well, let's try a race anyway. Let's see if we can get it to run. Let's see if it works. That's what I said. PC gaming, it's not guaranteed to work. All right, it's running good.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, that's the 3D effects. You can see the reflections on the car a little bit and the rain effects. Yeah, that was not in the original game. All right, that's running. All right, so that works. All right. Let's see. Image. Let's try pod one more time. Let's try the installer again. Maybe it'll uninstall and reinstall. Let's see. Uninstall. Yes. Install. There we go. That's the one we want. That's the version we want. Okay, let's try that. I knew something was up. So this should run. It should. Because if you got 3D effects, usually the game runs perfectly. But if you run it without it, it's iffy. We need like a pod reboot, by the way. We needed one for a long time. That's something that, like, that's kind of why I don't like gaming nowadays. Is like everything has to be like generic. There's so more copies, but I'm like, dude, just get a team together and make something cool. Because they can do something with pod like what they did with the like Motorstorm Apocalypse, where like everything be destroying itself around the outside of it. Graphics don't have to be great. You don't have to have great graphics, just have good gameplay. You know, just do something cool with it. Especially with ray tracing nowadays. You can dial the graphics back a little bit, just put ray tracing in there. It'll still look great. How do you give it the exact same graphics today with ray tracing and just maybe a few updates here and there, and it still look like a good game? It'll still be fun. Come on, load up. I'm doing large installations, by the way, so that way they load up faster. When you do small installations, they don't load up as quick. Also, there might be stuttering in the CD drive. Sometimes that happens too, so. Nope. All right, let's play. See if it works. Oh, shit.
It'll be over soon.
Output scale. Well, there we go.
Everything will be gone and this place will be forgotten.
Okay, it's working the way it's supposed to now. Just like that, it does that. Up scale to options, graphical options. Can I change? That's what we want. For 480, perfect level. Yes. Controls. Oh. Race. It's belting. Yeah, this is 3D effects. Because the car model wouldn't be there. It's running. Hey, that 3D effects chip, when you get it running properly, everything runs. Well, anything that supports it. Now again, some of these games you can get on GOG.com, some you can't. Like the Need for Speed games, you can't get those ever again. I gotta find a working version of Need for Speed 3 and try to get that running. High stakes, if I can get high stakes running, that one's a bitch. But if I can get that one running, I know where to get it. That'd be amazing, because that should run on this. It won't run on modern hardware, but it will run on that. Well, you get it running on my hardware, but it's like the resolution on it's weird. But if I can get it running on this, I'd be a happy camper. I think that's it. Okay, cool. I can't speak French. I know Pokimane can, but I can't. Probably looking at that and saying, no, you push this option, idiot. And I'm looking at them like, yeah, I know. I know. That's all we're going to be doing today. Maybe I'll come back to this probably later on. Maybe we'll get some other games installed on that. So yeah, that's Windows 95. So you see, you can get it running. You just got to know how to do it properly. You follow the steps I showed you, you should be okay. Now, to be fair, if you want to get rid of... If you want to get rid of that prompt where you don't want the CD-ROM to show up when you start the computer anymore, if that bothers you, reset. You got to go back here. And then you got to change this back to this. And then when it starts up, it won't do that anymore. Just put straight to Windows and that'll be it. If that bothers you. Yeah, see? Right to Windows, no problem. So, yeah. So if you want to get past that, you don't want to deal with that CD-ROM prompt anymore. If the CD-ROM will still work. Like, for example, if I go to image, go to do 95, it'll still run. It's just that it won't do that anymore when you start the computer up. Yeah, see? No problem. It's going to shut that down. Yes. And there you go. It's like a Windows 95 running, you know? And that's real Windows 95, okay? It's not the app. It's not the other stuff. That's real Windows 95. Now, again, you got to install the drivers for some stuff to work, and you got to make sure you put the right options in. So that's where you got to experiment a little bit. But hey, you got it, and you can play some old PC games. And like I said, they all won't run, but you can get a lot of them running. So keep that in mind. Okay, with that being said, thanks for joining me. Have a great time, man. Hopefully I'll see you all next time. Take care.